Welcome everyone. You probably recognize this truck if you've been around the channel for any amount of time. There's a loud truck went by. You probably recognize this some time ago. I think this was 2019, I believe, whenever we put this truck together. And for 3 years, it's had a weld machine on it, welding bed, and it's been going strong, but it hasn't been great because of my own doings. I kind of cut corners or didn't really know. I wanted to try something out, so we've got some problems that we're trying to take care of today, and we're gonna revamp this whole system for the most part. But the main problem with the suspension setup, nothing wrong with the infamous Fab 4-link. All that has held together, but because I welded this right to the truck frame, I didn't put a stiffener plate here, which I knew I should have, but I'm like, you know, I should be able to get away with it. Well, as you can see, we're starting to get some hairline cracks in here. You know, there's places where it's still holding strong. All this is good, but it's starting to take its toll on this. I don't know why I can't say that. So what we're doing today is rather than try to cut these brackets off and get them back in the position where they need to be, we're actually going to instead change the bag location. We're going to put the bags over the axle so we eliminate all this wrap. And the reason why we're having issues here is because this 1/8 inch plate here, more or less, there's so much deflection in it. It's kind of like taking a piece of wire and you bend it back and forth so many times, eventually it's going to break in half, and that's what we got going on here. So to remedy that, we're going to put some gusset plates in here, re-weld all this, grind it out, do what we got to do. We're not going to change these. We're just going to change the bag locations and change the panhard bar mount. But other than that, this truck has had a weld machine, you know, 1,500-pound weld machine on it for the past 3 years basically, and this is what we've got here. It's starting to, you can see here, we got some cracking here going on. And another issue with doing it this way, because I get a lot of questions about, hey, what are the cons of doing it this way? And if I would have put a stiffener plate here, like I said, put a piece of 1/4 inch and made a big plate and then welded this bracket to that, we wouldn't have any issues. But the other problem with the bushings we got here, as you can see, because this one's under constant tension and this one's under constant pressure because of how the bags are wrapping the axle, that the bushings are just wearing out much faster than they should. Again, it's working, but as you can see, they're getting pretty worn out here. And to remedy that, I have got a new set of bushings, and I've got some inner sleeves. This is 1 inch right here. So more or less, we're taking out a lot of that meat in the bushing, replacing it with more metal so that it doesn't have as much give to it. But again, before we're gonna take it apart and kind of revamp the system, we were just gonna put new bushings in it until I realized that, hey, we should take care of this, because like I said, it's holding everything. Like, this is starting to crack here, it's still good here. The brackets here, pretty much they're showing a little signs of fatigue, but there's nothing to be worried about there. But all this back here, everything that we've built on the back side here, there's nothing here that would tell me, hey, we got problems as far as the welds on this axle. This is all 1/4 inch plate. And so yeah, everything else looks good back here. It's just that when I built this was the problem, that I didn't put any kind of stiffener here. And I kind of knew that, but at the same time, I'm like, I just want to see what happens. I want to see if we can, you know, how it's going to work out and all that. So those are the only things I would change, is make sure if you're putting it to a frame that's 1/8 inch or less, put some sort of stiffener behind this bracket so that it can handle that abuse, you know, that tension here. And then increase the inner sleeve diameter, and that should help out the bushings a little better. But like I said, we've got some different bags on this truck now. The other ones were just too big, and we're going to use these instead. These are a little smaller, they still support the weight, but we're going to go ahead and cut out the bump stops here, make some more brackets to go right over the axle, and we're going to leave all this here. We're going to leave everything here, just weld the panhard bar to that side, and then up under this here. This will stay because I convinced Ethan that we can't get rid of this, and he's laughing at me now. But So there's not a whole lot of work to do as far as that goes. Mainly it's just going to be cleaning all this up, re-welding some of it, and putting it back together, and just kind of making it so it's gonna last a lot longer. So another flaw in my design was I put my logo back here, and over time these bushings, like I said, they separated and caused the axle to rotate back a little bit, and the part of the P here on the Panic Fab logo started rubbing a hole in the bag and burst one of the bags, and that's why we get different bags in it anyway. Just decrease the diameter. And I could have, all along, I could have put the bags over the axle, but I just wanted to try something different. You live and you learn. You don't ever learn anything if you don't try anything new. So I've learned a lot from this experience, and I would definitely do it again. I would just do it a different way, different kind of bars, just so on and so forth. But yeah, we're gonna get to work here. It shouldn't take us too long to do what we gotta do and get this thing put back together. So if you've made it this far into the video, yeah, you must have been interested or something, but we're gonna get to work. Appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you when we need to see you. Much later in the day, as you can tell, but we are about to wrap this project up. I didn't show a whole lot because it was just one of them days where we're just trying to get stuff done and didn't really care to video, but everything's wrapped up on here. New bushings, cleaned up the bars. They look good again. I don't know why, but they look blue in the camera. They're purple. Under here, as you can tell, we've got the bags over the axle now, and that's how we're gonna rock it for now. I didn't do anything up here as far as re-bracing because we put them over the axle. There shouldn't be as much force here as there was before. So we just grinded out some stuff, re-welded all that. Back here, put the Panhard bar on the top bag mount on the other side, and then weld it to the bag mount here. So didn't do a whole lot of wreckage as far as cutting old stuff out. We just kind of added in new, and I think it's going to work out just fine. So I guess it's going to do it. thank you all for watching this. I know this is probably a short video, but we've got plenty more to come, so I guess we will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.